Hi, this little snip is in QuickBooks Online, and it has to do with the banking integration and how banking integration works from one account to another account to another account, especially when the monies are transferring from one account to the other. Or perhaps you have a PayPal account and it's transferring to your checking and your checking back to PayPal, or sometimes the PayPal to savings. The money goes back and forth. And so oftentimes there's some confusion about the transactions that are showing up down below. And it can be a bit confusing because QuickBooks Online arbitrarily helps you. And the challenge that it comes up with is that arbitrarily will help you with very strange categories, sometimes even very strange descriptions, very strange payees. So we don't automatically accept those. We want to pretty much micromanage those, how they're coming into their accounts. So if we have one account and there's transfers being made to another account, those transfers that are, say, they're leaving the checking account and going into savings, they would be leaving, they would be in the spent column. And then in this account, they would be received in this account. And so let's see if this is a good example of that. This is actually a deposit, so it looks more like this happens to be a deposit of sales coming into the savings account instead of actually a transfer of money. But you will see both sides of a transaction from one account to another account, but you shouldn't see duplicates, right? So the terminology that I'm being asked about is duplicates. And this one would only have one side of that, either received or paid, right? This one would also have received or paid. And again, I'm using a sample company, and it's difficult to show exactly what happens when we don't have real life data. But if I had a PayPal account out here on the right-hand side, PayPal often is transferred, into, I just drug my mouse over there. PayPal is often transferred into checking, or sometimes it's transferred into savings. So you'd have half of the transactions showing up in the queue down below it, and you'd have the other half of the transactions showing up here. So hopefully this is very helpful. Keep in mind that if you've reconciled the blue, and you can see my big blue square here, this is the bank balance, this is in QuickBooks. These should come pretty darn close. They don't always, because there's usually a time lag. In this case, you can see that this sample company is overdrawn, and in QuickBooks, I actually have $1,200. Maybe something hasn't quite made it to the bank, right? But this is how we know if my bank feeds is working, is how close I'm really coming when I actually do reconcile my accounts. They should be pretty spot on, other than the few outstanding items. One thing that does come up is sometimes these matches will help you. Other times they can be a hindrance. So just because it says match, that isn't always a good solid match. I would want to pop that open, and I'm just clicking on that. And then you can actually click on the blue link, whatever type of transaction it is, and get a little bit more information, right? This one has 2 matches found. And so we'd have to make sure that we pick the right one, because obviously they're a little bit different. And so we'd want to know which one that truly is. So there is some management of this process in the QuickBooks integration. It's a tool that works great. One thing that can be a challenge is under this tab, there's rules. And if you look in your rules and you find rules that are they may be set and working against you. So you may delete them and try adding them in when they work a little bit better. This file company doesn't have any rules. But anyway, that should help. Let me know and we'll go from there.